This NFL Conference Championship edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get a $20 free promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money grade with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Can't believe we're here, Sean.
Can you believe it?
Only 2 games this weekend.
2 games, 3 games left in the season. Can you believe it's week 21, Ryan?
I can't. And you keep forgetting the Pro Bowl games.
They're not actual games. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Pro Bowl games.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just,
Will there be lines up for the Pro Bowl games?
Yeah, but they're like it's like a scavenger hunt. I mean, come on. Let's get back to football. Remember when Sean Taylor took out was it Brian Moore? It was a Bills kicker. Probably could have thrown.
Don't talk about the Bills.
McDermott's face on his head.
They've been through so much. That was.
Can someone make that meme where Sean Taylor is the owner? And Brandon Bean and the kicker, the punter is Sean McDermott.
I mean, blasted. They really went out of their way to throw McDermott under the bus with the whole. They blamed the Keon Coleman pick on him, which Keon Coleman's still on the roster, year 2 on a rookie contract. Like he's not tradable. What I mean,
also
you're gonna probably have him back.
Also, there was video evidence from it like that
of the GM and
that didn't get like it wasn't like edited out footage. It was like it made the final cut.
Yeah, that was hilarious that they just completely threw him under the bus. I'll step in there, and everyone pointing out the same thing where he said basically the reason Sean McDermott got fired was because Josh Allen was crying and they're very upset, didn't like the results of that game, but then also jumps in during the press conference and says this is that they didn't win because of the bad calls, which like, man.
So you don't think your coach was the
well, and this is why bad teams stay bad. When you have bad ownership, it's tough to get out of that cycle, and injecting yourself into the conversation like that and the way he did.
No, what do you mean? He's now hired a president of football operations.
I mean, the fact that he got promoted was insane.
Yeah, I think
it's like, oh yeah.
On one hand,
one thing we're clear about the Bills, the roster was great. Brandon Bean, you deserve a promotion.
You love the owner taking a step back and not being so hands-on by hiring a president, someone to run football operations. You hate that he's promoting the GM who's been doing a shit job to do so, which I guess the only sharp thing about it is you don't have your GM looking like he's on the hot seat already, which is what you run into when you don't fire him with the coach. And so now that he's been given the promotion, you bring in a new head coach. There's a little bit more stability there, maybe. Although the owner does seem, at minimum, the owner read too many comments on the internet. He was flustered. Clearly, I mean, I don't know what world does he work? Because clearly he doesn't talk publicly very often. He reminded me of like a tech nerd who's like really hot and bothered over something and finally gets a chance to talk in the meeting, and it's just like no, too much.
Yeah, like,
too much.
Why? Yeah, that was
awkward,
really weird.
And I would even Brandon Bean even knew what was going on. Was incredibly.
He tried
awkward.
to diffuse it a little bit, but throwing the coach, and it wasn't. They didn't get embarrassed. They lost in overtime. And for the most, he didn't get over the hump. I understand why you need a fresh start, but to kind of kick him on his way out, a guy who took Tyrod Taylor to the playoffs. He certainly look at where the Bills were before Sean McDermott came in and where they were after. Yeah, granted, obviously a lot of it is Josh Allen, but Sean McDermott was his coach for that whole time.
I think people forget what Josh Allen was when he came into the league, and they're giving him zero credit for. He was not a polished sure thing. He was a wild card. He was highly inaccurate. I mean, we see it all the time. Highly had all the tools in the world, but looked like absolute shit at times. I mean, we got a glimpse of it in the playoff game. But reckless with the ball, try to do too much. I mean,
that fumble before halftime, that was old Josh Allen.
But like at the same time, McDermott was the coach that got a quarterback who was raw talent and not very polished into being the reason you're firing the coach. There's some irony there.
Yeah.
If he doesn't succeed at the development job, he doesn't get fired for not being good enough with his superstar quarterback that he developed. Dable gets all the credit, I guess.
Well, and we run into this similar issue with the Eagles. Jalen Hurts was drafted as a backup quarterback, certainly not seen as a franchise starting quarterback. And Nick Sirianni was there the entire time, winning a Super Bowl, going to another Super Bowl, he was his head coach the entire time and became a Super Bowl MVP. And yes, Shane Steichen and Kellen Moore did a good job, but to give Sirianni, and that's I won't go off on that tangent again. People are already hitting the fast forward button.
It is football. Is it really a tangent?
I don't think so. But we're here mostly to talk about the teams in the conference championship games. But to no credit for Sirianni to me is insane.
Are you at all any concern about all the good offensive coordinators turning down the Eagles job?
Oh, that's a great question. No, not at all.
Some people are wondering.
Oh, what? They're never going to have an offensive coordinator. No one wants to work with Sirianni. No one wants to work with Jalen Hurts. Come on. So far we're already in the off season.
Justin Herbert was selected by Mike McDaniel over Jalen Hurts, allegedly. Again, per sources.
Justin Herbert also had Kellen Moore and Shane Steichen, who I've been told is the only reason Jalen Hurts has been successful. So Kellen Moore left the Chargers to become the OC for the Eagles.
Now, what do you think about Dable turning down the chance to work with Jalen Hurts to go work with Cam Ward?
Thank God. I don't want Brian Dable in that building. I mean, I think Ryan. I think Brian Dable's a loser. So yes, I'm fine with him not being a part of the organization. If the Bills want to hire him as their head coach, that is not a good decision, in my opinion.
Well, I think when your owner acts like that at a press conference, he's obviously going to hire whatever Josh. Hey, Joshy Poo, who do you want me to hire? So I mean, it's going to be. I would also probably not want Brian Dable, but he did choose Cam Ward over Jalen Hurts for the purpose of this conversation.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
some
good
people
luck.
are saying
and sure, Philly is not, if you're mentally soft, do not come to Philadelphia. And it is shown 2 different head coaches or OCs have come into Philly and have turned into head coaches. So if you want another shot at becoming a head coach, Philly seems like a pretty good launching pad. Not to mention that Nick Sirianni is perpetually on the hot seat. So if you actually believe in your ability to coach up an offense, Philly would be a great opportunity. If you're looking for a place like the Chargers, where literally there's no heat, the majority of people don't even know who the offensive coordinator is. You get to hang out in LA and smoke weed all day. Hey, it's a lifestyle choice. I get it. And certainly if it's the Chargers is a win-win. Either they look a little bit better and you go, oh, okay, that was because of Mike McDaniel, head coaching job, or they're the same. And it's like, well, something's wrong on the defense or offensive line, or even if they're worse, Mike McDaniel's not going to get, was anyone calling for Greg Roman to be fired? Were the Chargers fans up in arms? Were the Chargers fans egging Greg Roman's house? Like, no one cared.
I'm sure they didn't know where he lived, but I think some fans were probably looking for him to get fired.
Sure, but there's not a real Chargers.
So who's the guy? Who's the guy that? Who's your prediction for Eagles offensive coordinator?
Let's see.
Who do you want?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Mike Kafka, solid interview, great, good play caller.
I don't know. No one.
Jim Bob Cooter.
I like Jim Bob Cooter.
Yeah,
I like
Cooter?
Joe Brady might work. Bobby Slowick.
Who's the guy?
Charlie Weiss Jr. His kid. So there's.
Well, his kid is Charlie Weiss Jr. I think.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Charlie Weiss Jr. Charlie Weiss's kid.
He's a hot commodity, and Dad's like touting for him too. Well, who's the guy you're worried about? Matt Nagy. You don't want Matt Nagy.
No, but again, these guys who are bad head coaches sometimes figure it out as an OC.
He's also been ruining Patrick Mahomes for a little bit.
I think Patrick Mahomes deserves some of the blame.
Of course.
Showtime Mahomes.
But yeah, he was an Andy Reid system. I would be surprised if it ends up being Matt Nagy. There's no one that, again, to me, bring in a fresh scheme, whatever. Yes, I was fine with Kevin Patullo getting fired. I think the issue was a lot of execution issues. So I think, Patullo did a bad job. We need to find a good match for the talent we have, and we'll figure it out. But Ryan, we are here to talk AFC, NFC conference championship. Before we get in, any big picture thoughts? Any
other than hallelujah, Kevin Abrams has been fired from the New York Football Giants.
Oh, who the hell is that?
It just exactly doesn't matter. But he's been there for 30 years and he's no longer there. Harbaugh already spraying napalm all over the place. Very fabulous. No, big picture on the games.
Does seem like historically dogs have been a little better. Nothing crazy.
I kind of didn't. This is such a different year. Right, we're having.
It is. I mean, look at these four teams.
It's a flat distribution of playoff teams. Everyone kind of felt like they had a chance. We're setting records for turnovers in the playoffs, so it's kind of been I don't want to call it. It's not like all been elite defense that's causing the turnovers. It's a lot of sloppy play. Again, mediocrity.
It's like historic though, the turnovers.
Yeah, and so when I look at all that, I kind of maybe ignore history and I think about what is helping, what's working, and. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to the NFC maybe more than the AFC. It seemed kind of obvious. I don't want to say the board was it was an easy puzzle.
I still have my Broncos to win the AFC, but certainly things have changed now that Bo Nix is out. Obviously, that's a huge change.
Yeah, really got to know Jarrett Stidham.
Oh yeah, did a deep dive on some Jarrett Stidham. Got a ton of Jarrett Stidham facts. All right, Ryan, let's hop into it. Before we do, of course, shout out to Avo. That's right. Head over to avo.bet. Use our promo code SGPN. It is the #1 arbitrage betting tool. Sync your books, and it's great. Arbitrage betting is one of the few ways to guarantee a profit in sports gambling because you're literally playing both sides. They find the discrepancies in the market, alert you, tell you how much to bet, where to bet it, and you can guarantee a profit. Check out their Discord, AVO official, if you don't believe me. But of course, go to avo.bet. Use our promo code SGPN. $18 off your first month. That's avo.bet. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Kalshi. Available in all 50 states. New traders get $20 in their account. Use that code SGPN. I was firing a bunch of college basketball trades today, and something happened. I unlocked like a random $25. I don't know what happened, but
nice work.
Shout out to you, Kalshi. Always appreciate that. But yeah, you can trade college, pro football. They have a bunch of props too, and then of course. If you wanted the market's already moved, but if you had us to take over Greenland, Ryan, that market paid out a decent. So we'll see where that goes. But again, read all the fine print on the crazy non-sports ones. Read the fine print, but a lot of fun activities over on Kalshi.
Did I miss an invasion?
No, it just seems like we might. Who the hell knows what's going on? But. You can trade it if you know what's going on. Go to Kalshi. Use the promo code SGPN. Get 20 free bucks. All right, Kramer. Let's talk about the games.
All right, let's and shout out to the Slide Master. As always, let's see here. Where are our slides? Here we go. So 2 games, and we probably should before we get all the way into the games, we probably should get into it because. As I've brought up on this program a couple times, there are birdies and rodents all over the place that slide into my DMs to feed me information.
You got eyes and ears everywhere.
Well, one of them likes to give me updates on other sports gambling content.
Ryan, there's a Valentine's Day is coming up, and you could imagine the surprise on your wife's face when she sees the brand new door from West Shore Home. That's right. Surprise your wife or girlfriend with a brand new door installed by our good buddies at West Shore Home. A tub, a jacuzzi. Oh, honey, my pussy's so wet. You got me a new door. I like Ross. West Shore Homes probably has great doors, but for the love of God, if you want to get laid, do not get your wife a door for Valentine's Day. Dude, I was dying laughing. Now he did start out with a tub or shower, but then he quickly he loves doors, and they must be great doors. But my God, could you imagine if you gave your wife like, okay, hey, get the lingerie out, honey. I got something to show you. Here's a door. West Shore Home Ross. Oh my God. Let me start blowing you now while I turn this great knob on this door. I mean, come on. I get it. Valentine's Day is coming up. You don't need to tie it. I mean, right. I like Kalshi. It's a lot of fun. I would not suggest getting Kalshi. Let your wife trade Bachelor finals on Kalshi. Promo code SGPN.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no, nothing that we advertise on here. Now maybe we'll get a flower advertiser. Probably not because we're talking about pussy. But yeah, like
flowers. Flowers make sense.
Flowers, jewelry. Yeah. Don't overthink it. That's my advice. Or get your wife a door.
A door. I mean, do you think like in like football, although he did go to Princeton, football brain, he just kind of wrote, oh yeah, this will work. It's
just tied into whatever's going on. I get that. As someone who does a bunch of live reads, the instinct is to tie it into whatever's going on. But get a door from West Shore Home. They sound great, but do not get it for your wife for Valentine's Day. That's my personal advice.
Yeah,
get her a dab from Japan.
It's complicated too. Like, do you surprise the door, or do you make?
Who are these guys? They're installing your Valentine's Day present. Oh wow, what is it? Well, you got the grout guy coming on Tuesday.
And are you just replacing the door so it's just going to go in the same frame, or is there construction involved? Are we doing maybe a barn door?
I'm about to get late. Can you close the door? No, sorry, we're still putting the hinges on. Could you like hold the door while I get my Valentine's Day blowjob? No, sorry.
I feel like there's a version of this on Brazzers where Ross ends up losing out, big time. Anyway, yeah. Right. So Ross was meant. There was a mention. It wasn't. What had nothing to do with doors. Apparently, there's a funny teaser in the show this week. That's not what I brought up.
Sure,
because another popular gambling show spent a lot of time talking about how bad these games are going to be and how, well, I shouldn't say how bad, but how it's, I'm probably just going to hit the slopes instead. What?
I mean, if you're watching content and the person breaking down the games is not watching the games, why would you watch that or listen to that content?
That was the
also it's a conference championship game. It's not like some random afternoon game on week 18 that doesn't have playoff implications. But even then, there's a shit ton of props. I love gambling. I love this shit. There's no way I'm missing conference championship games.
Also, the week they literally give us a weekend to go do that next weekend.
We get a bye week as gamblers.
Yeah. Wild ass shit. Anyway, the mole says hi.
Okay.
Says keep up the good work.
Shout out to the mole.
Yeah. Should see if we can send him some content or some merch.
Why would you not watch the games?
Well,
people in the content biz, I know we're critiquing other content creators, right? But people who act like this is pulling teeth, I had a real job for many years. I worked on a construction site. I worked at Quiznos. I worked at a copy store where Gary Busey yelled at me. I've had horrible jobs. It's not a job at all. It's not horrible. Ryan and I were talking about games in 2011, making $0. We're very lucky to have this as a full-time job. I love this shit. And this is two of the biggest games in the NFL.
A lot of people that do like to complain about talking about football. Have we ever thought about doing a Patreon episode of just you telling stories from the Malibu Copy Center? Whatever.
That sounds fun.
Whatever that place was. All right, let's get into it. Two good games. They give us the same window again, so feel free to surprise your
games are good.
Surprise your wife with a door and brunch on Sunday before the games start. We got another noon kick here on CBS. Jim, Patriots, Broncos. Of course, we got the shocking. You had to check 3 times. You weren't getting duped. That Bo Nix broke his ankle news last weekend.
Very crazy. Which
led to me looking at you immediately and saying, "Well, we're probably going to have to take the Broncos this week, aren't we?" Because we're in Mile High again. The oddity of the playoff games is you always have a little unfortunate situation where there's a rest disadvantage for one team. In this case, Denver, the Broncos at home with an extra day of rest, -4.5. I'm sorry, +4.5, +215 on the money line. Pats -250, 41.5 is the total. When we discussed this earlier in the week, I thought the spread would get bigger. I thought the total would go down. Neither has happened, making me look like a full-scale donkey. 1 seed versus 2 seed, where we're getting a backup quarterback versus an MVP candidate. To me, the location of this game makes all the difference. Not only do you have the elevation in play, you have a legit crowd advantage. One of the few stadiums I think we probably would be saying that with the Patriots waking their ass back up off the mat. And my initial reaction here was, well, the Patriots continue to have these games where, just like last week, good defense, lots of questions on offense, especially now with a backup quarterback. Are they just going to continue to get the easy path, or is Sean Payton going to paint his masterpiece? I was referencing the movie A Man on Fire earlier to Sean, saying that this is like the scene where Christopher Walken says that Greasy's about to paint his masterpiece, aka kill everyone. I think Sean Payton's going to do that with the game plan. And like we mentioned, in fact, we have a clip, Sean. From our Broncos preview, where
this is 2024 preview.
We identified this at the time. Oh, that's interesting. No, give me a second. We identified this at the time, and there we go.
Rosenberg remembered it.
Rosenberg dug it back up. It was actually 2023.
Oh, you're right. 2023.
When Jarrett Stidham got signed by the Broncos, and let me throw this on. No sound. There we go.
Additions.
Bring up the additions because
the key one to me was going out and signing Jarrett Stidham as soon as you could.
Well, that's interesting, and I really think there was a conversation because Jarrett Stidham, by all accounts, McDaniels, he was supposed to be a McDaniels guy. Then all of a sudden he gets signed by the Denver Broncos first day of free agency, which to me is always like, all right, they wanted him in the building right away. I think he had a conversation with Sean Payton. I don't think Sean Payton said, "Hey, I'm not totally in on Russ Wilson," but I think maybe there was some implied, hey, he's on a short leash here. Where Jarrett, you might have a chance to play if things go bad for Russ. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Jarrett Stidham. And we saw Stidham at the end of the year, and he threw a pass to Little Jordan Humphrey, he's going to be trying to throw passes to today. He threw a touchdown to Little Jordan Stidham, and someone reminded me
Little
Jordan Humphrey, and he reminded me that I gave out Little Jordan Humphrey anytime touchdown because he had some chemistry with him in the preseason.
Well, not only was it the first transaction for Sean Payton in his stint as the Broncos head coach, first free agent transaction, and as we mentioned, the priority nature of it, the amount of money. Getting, I think, in the $12 million range for a backup quarterback is certainly way above average. And before that, when McDaniels, who we've now all learned, right? Josh McDaniels is plural. Mike McDaniel is singular. Josh McDaniels one of the first things he did as the Raiders coach was trade draft picks for Jarrett Stidham, who was on the Patriots at the time where he was drafted. And so certainly, and I was actually, we were, I don't know if you were in the studio when it was happening, but I was watching some NFL stuff where they were showing guys talking about Jarrett Stidham, just like cut ups. And one of the things that really stood out was the offense that he got drafted into was a combination of Tom Brady and Josh McDaniels, who had worked together for almost a decade at that time. So probably as complex of an offense as you could have, right? They've just so much continuity. He came into that offense and immediately acclimated himself to the point where he was useful and was able to be a backup quarterback, someone who could be trustworthy. So, my digging on Jarrett Stidham has me rock hard for this game.
Again, I think Jarrett Stidham has a decent floor. Now, if he completely looks lost out there, I would kind of be surprised. Let's start. For me, there's two things. I think there's some matchups I like for the Denver Broncos, but let's start with the situation spots. The situation spots for me for the Denver Broncos are really good. I think the only situation going against them is coming off overtime, but they do have an extra day of rest. So I think that helps them.
Did you find a situation where they made the franchise quarterback and the other team cry like a little baby? Oh. Is that a situation spot?
No, but that's certainly, I mean, again, the turnovers and it in weird ways. I mean, couldn't you have said that Bo Nix had the best game in the last round? Certainly outplayed Josh Allen. Drake May, I don't think looked. Now he made some throws late, but he also was pretty sloppy with the ball. And you just look at all the situation spots. Home dogs in the playoffs of 4 points or more. Again, we were on the Bears when that crept up to 4. That was 9-0 ATS going into last week. It's now 10-0 ATS. They're getting 4.5. Broncos at home in the playoffs, 18-5 straight up. Sean Payton as a home dog, 12-10 straight up. He is live on the money line. Now the counter is the Pats. They've been good on the road. They haven't lost a game on the road. 7-1 ATS. But I just look at this Broncos team at home at elevation. And I think the defense is going to come to play here against this New England Patriots team. Matchup wise, there's a lot I like about the Denver Broncos, starting with the defensive line. And I know the Broncos have had their ups and downs defensively, but man, Drake May 6 fumbles so far in the playoffs in 2 games, 6 fumbles, 3 fumbles in each game. Why? Because his left tackle, Will Campbell, has just been getting his ass kicked. Now it didn't matter in the Chargers game. They only put up 16 points they only put up 21 against the Texans. Yes, they had a defensive touchdown. Now, certainly that's where this can go off the rails for the Broncos. If Stidham throws, if Stidham is responsible for more than 2 turnovers personally, or if the Broncos lose the turnover battle by more than 2, then certainly they're going to be in trouble here. But man, that offensive line for the Pats really looked shaky, and the Pats offense had 5 turnovers given to them, and they were not converting. They just were not converting. Now the other side is this Pats defense is pretty solid, certainly, but we see this all the time. Sean Payton, Kyle Shanahan, these guys thrive under adversity. They thrive with the backup quarterback because then they get really cute there. And I was worried initially. I'd kind of forgotten Stidham's mobility. He's not as mobile as Bo Nix, but I think he can still run a lot of the boot action and moving the pocket stuff that worked for Bo Nix. And I think, Ryan, it sounds insane, and maybe someone will clip this when they get their ass kicked and I look like a total asshole, but I'll say this: Jarrett Stidham starting for the Denver Broncos is the best thing that's happened to Sean Payton. Why? Because he knows in his heart of hearts that he cannot drop back Jarrett Stidham for 46 pass attempts. That's where he got in trouble. That's where he got cute. Now the counter is, all right, let's say they do look to run the ball a little bit. Well, you got Milton Williams on the other side. And I think if you're a Pats backer or a Pats fan, you're going to say, hey, we're going to load the box. We're going to make Jarrett Stidham beat us. And that's what you're leaning into. I understand that. And certainly the Broncos have had some issues defensively, and maybe Drake May. He's had some really nice throws, but he's also had those turnovers. I would say, I think Sean Payton's going to be able to scheme up some wins in the pass game against this Patriots team. It's not going to be crazy deep shots. Although if you watch Stidham and his tape against the 49ers, where the 49ers defense was very good.
Number one DVOA that year.
Now, granted, he had Devontae Adams and Darren Waller, but he threw the ball a ton to Devontae Adams. So I think this is a game where Cortland Sutton's going to get a decent amount of looks. Now, maybe they put Gonzalez on him, et cetera. But I believe they can scheme up stuff for him. And I'm sure we have our props episode with CJ, but he's going to get creative. Marvin Mims rushing yards over. Look to that to be a play. Jarrett Stidham rushing yards. I already saw people talking about him in the ladder, and certainly his coach believes in him. And this is just the ultimate. Nobody believes in us. The public's all over the Pats. The line is a 6-point difference. Sean Payton, he is telling people how big of underdogs they were, and as if they didn't need to add fuel to the fire. Milton Williams, who I just mentioned, former great Eagle, he pointed out when asked about Jarrett Stidham, he said they didn't like him over Bo Nix. I mean, that you're really rattling the Jarrett Stidham cage, Milton Williams. I think this is going to be, and again, granted it's preseason, granted it's a small sample size. You say like he hasn't played in 3 years or whatever. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. He did play at the end of the 2023 season. So 2024 calendar year. So really it's 2 years. It's not quite that long. And again, he played in preseason, right? What was your preseason stat?
Oh, also, before I give that out, I mean, we were listening to Sal Pal earlier today on Follow the Money say teams were trying to trade for him. We've had multiple coaches talk about how he's like an elite backup or a hidden gem because people don't know how good he is. I mean, first of all, you look at what he's done in the preseason for Denver, for this offense, the offense that he's been in for 3 years, and who knows. I mean, we act like Bo Nix doesn't do boneheaded shit from time to time. Yeah. That who knows if he maybe
Nix did make some nice throws there, and he outplayed Josh Allen.
77 of 120, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks, but 10 carries, 92 yards and a touchdown. And so I don't get the narrative that he's not super mobile. I'm shocked to see how low the rushing total is, knowing what this offense looks like with Bo Nix and knowing that I think they keep some of those design runs in. You go look up his 3-cone drill compared to Bo Nix. It's very similar. He's not, I mean, in a straight line, I think he's a little slower because he's bigger, but I think he also sees the middle of the field. I think to your point, he's going to go give Cortland Sutton a lot of opportunities. I keep racking my brain to figure out who's the guy. Who's the random guy? I went back, looked at the preseason. I was looking at like beat reporters' preseason reports.
Little Jordan Humphrey.
No, it was Troy Franklin who is hurt. And that would be the play. That was the guy, and Pat Bryant, who's also hurt. So
well, and good transition to the injury stuff. Pat Bryant coming off a concussion, but it sounded like he was limited in practice, aka the playoff concussion rules. Well, and they did have the extra day, so him clearing in a week isn't insane.
Yeah.
Troy Franklin hamstring. I kind of think that one's going to be tougher to come out of than the concussion because concussions, as we know, aren't real. So as long as he can trick the doctor into letting him out on the field, and I saw someone in the chat mention it, but Luke Wattenberg, the center, he had his window cleared from IR, so getting their center back is certainly huge. Now their backup center Alex Forsyth is dealing with an ankle injury, but the fact that you might be able to get the starter back, if not him, Forsyth. So
I think the idea that the offensive line, like we're not going to be, it's unlikely to me that we're in a situation where, I mean, at one point it looked like they were going to be on a 3rd string center. It looks like that won't be the case, which is huge. And I think, back to the game plan portion of it, I wonder with J.K. Dobbins, like, does he get used? What does Sean Payton use him for? Again, we're going to see some of the cutest play calling.
If I was making a case for the Pats, I would highlight, hey, look at what James Cook did against this Broncos defense. He was very effective. Again, apparently Josh Allen has no help, in spite of the fact that James Cook went for 24 for 117. That's a decent support system on the ground. I know it's not Josh's fault, or it's all the coach's fault. Now, certainly Ramondre, them pounding the rock, I think certainly interesting. But again, this is when we see this all the time. The quarterback goes out, everyone around him rallies and gets up for this spot.
So on the
this
season,
is going to be a battle.
On the season, Drake May, 22nd in sacks, 18th in quarterback hits, 24th in pressures, 23rd in pressure rate. The Broncos are first, and second in those categories. And I mean, I think we've seen it pretty consistently, and yes, like what did the two other defense like? It's a very similar game, like I said, to Houston and to the Chargers. And what happened in those games with the Chargers defense and the Texans defense? They got after him. The fumbles you talked about, that's because the defensive line got after Drake May. You're now dealing with another situation where they are going to get to him. I don't know. I'll be completely honest. I'm very surprised at how people are discarding the Broncos. Like, as if, are they not aware of Sean Payton? To your point, like this is the Sean Payton game. And the one other nugget on Jarrett Stidham. What if I told you, and again, this is per at NFL Plus, shout out to NFL Plus, in the 2025 NFL preseason, aka this year, Jarrett Stidham led all players with a 24.6 EPA.
Oh my God!
You didn't think you were going to hear preseason EPA stats,
Ryan? When was the last time there was a home underdog in an AFC Conference Championship game?
Oh, I do. I don't know, Sean. When?
Well, it was when the Denver Broncos faced off against the New England Patriots in the 2015 season.
Wow.
Denver won 20-18. That was Brady against Manning, who he may as well have been Jarrett Stidham the way his arm was cooked.
We're gonna get he's Jarrett Stidham. I'm now a Jarrett Stidham honk. Jarrett Stidham way better than corpse.
I am a little worried at how many people are betting Jarrett Stidham Super Bowl MVP. I think that's where things could get a little interesting. There's certainly going to be, now it'll be interesting to see if they do pull this off, what the line ends up being. If the Pats end up winning, I think the spread will probably be within 3 against the NFC. But if the Broncos,
I don't think so.
Okay. Cause they put out the look ahead line.
I think I saw them and they weren't, maybe they moved, but I think the openers were 3.5. I think basically for the Rams and Seahawks, and then it was like 9.
Seahawks versus the Pats. Seahawks 3.5. Like I'm saying, right around 3. Seahawks versus the. Did I not say that?
Oh yeah, but that I said it was more than 3.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
Seahawks 8.5 versus the Broncos, and then Rams also 3.5 against the Pats, 8.5 against the Broncos. So that's that would be a crazy spread or a big. We haven't seen big spreads in Super Bowls recently.
A week ago, we were talking about how the NFC -2, or 2 weeks ago, the NFC -2.5, a great bet.
And I love this. Cody in the chat, a diehard Patriots fan, saying everyone on the Broncos love it. Everyone.
No one's on the Broncos.
Ryan, bring up those bet splits. Boston Capper checking in. Check out the Boston Capper Patreon episode. SGP stories. Bunch of great stories from the old Boston Capper, who's just adamant that we are crazy.
Where would you like the bet splits from?
Sure. To give us Circa and DraftKings.
All right. Circa 76% of the bets, but only 46% of the handle is on the Patriots. Telling us what, Sean, that the Broncos are the sharp side out there at Circa, which do sharps bet at Circa?
Yes.
I think so.
Huge limits.
Green Book,
I know because Derek's sweating it out when they place the $1 million wagers.
I don't want. Let's hopefully it doesn't get back to him. That anyway, we'll get 76% of the bets, 73% of the handle at the Green Book on the Patriots. So it does seem like the public is on the Patriots, Cody. Unfortunately, for your narrative.
Yeah, Cody's saying everywhere I turn, everyone's betting on the Patriots. Could be a content thing where. Certainly, it's more interesting, I guess, to pick the Broncos. But for me, it's just that
there's chowderheads everywhere. Everywhere.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
It's a home dog angle. 4-point home dogs or more in the playoffs. I'm always going to be on the home dog. Give me the Denver Broncos. Kramer also on the Denver Broncos. Giddy up!
Do you think the number? Crush. Do we think the number moves again?
I have no idea.
I kind of don't think it can, right? Because it got to 5.5 and it got bet.
Yeah,
enough for them to move it back to 4.5. So I think we might be stuck here.
All right, Ryan. Before we get to the next game, of course, shout out to Rhythm. The Rhythm is gonna bet you picks, props, sides, totals, props. Rhythm has it all. And again, I told you we need to update the Rhythm graphic. Get that loser, Josh Allen. Well, maybe Josh Allen, he's sitting at home. Maybe he can use the parlay optimizer over on Rhythm. Love the parlay optimizer. Very easy to start building your own models. Let's look at a prop that Rhythm likes. Oh, Rhythm likes Austin Hooper over 9.5 receiving yards. They love that. So that's one of their plays. Again, you can build your own models on Rhythm or just tail their stuff. Very easy to use. Get started today for free. And if you want to go premium, use our code SGPN25. Get you 25% off premium. And again, definitely check out the Parlay Optimizer. Very easy to use. Download the Rhythm app today. RITHMM. And we're also brought to you by Underdog. Head over to Underdog Fantasy. Use our promo code SGPN. Play $5. Get $75 in bonus funds. Kramer, let's put together a little Underdog entry. I think we have to start with the Stidham rushing yards, right?
Yep.
Okay. We like Stidham.
Do we rushing or passing?
His passing yards are low, 198.5.
That's the part where it's like, Sean Payton's going to dial up. They're going to screen pass him to death. And
also, if I'm the Pats, well, yeah, I guess if I'm the Pats, I'd let him run. Well, you don't care about him running.
You're not too worried about it. He's not that dynamic.
But yeah, if you want to take passing yards, sure, let's go passing yards. Higher, 198.
I like everything. I like everything about this kid.
What do you like on the Pats side, Ryan?
I mean, it does seem like they should commit to the run based on what you said. I go back and forth on it because Ramondre to do stuff is always interesting. He was a little frustrating last week. Got poked in the eye or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe maybe we just focus on Drake May turning the ball over.
Okay. INT or see the fumbles loss is always tough, but interceptions thrown higher a half is juicy.
I think that's what we do there. Because he loves throwing the deep ball, and he'll take the deep shot even when there's stuff available. And I think he's going to take some hits. I like this one.
I like it as well, Kramer. Got some bonus funds. Gonna fire on this. The $100 entry returns you $313 over on Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. And so that is Jarrett Stidham higher 198.5. Drake May higher a half interception. Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN.
All right. So anything before we move on to the next game?
No, let's go.
All right. NFC Championship. We have the Rams. Little division matchup here. 1-5 Rams in Seattle. Seattle laying 2.5 minus 150 on the money line. Rams plus 130. 47 is the total. This number indicates that the Sharps are also swimming around the Rams.
Yep.
And I got to be very honest with everyone. Why? Why? So give me the narrative for why the game happened last week.
I think the Rams are the Sharp community has them as the highest power rated team.
That feels insane right now. If you're watching the games,
I'm giving you the explanation. Sam Darnold in his last 3 games against the Rams has thrown 7 interceptions. Matt Stafford's the MVP. Sean Payton has playoff experience. Mike McDonald is making his 2nd playoff start.
Pretty good start.
I mean, those are and Seattle's coming off a huge blowout victory. I mean, teams who have put up 40 in the playoffs are 12 and 21 ATS the following game. The idea there is that, kind of like the close your eyes special, where if you're putting up 40 points, everyone's going to be on you. I'm sure the public's all over Seattle. So Sharps being naturally contrarian are looking towards that side.
But we're not. So all right. So yes, let's start there. Public all over them. Completely agree. We don't have to lay 3. Okay, so we're not actually.
Because they want you to take Seattle.
We're not paying a premium. We're not paying a premium.
Right. The other reasons why you would take Seattle: Sean McVay has dominated the Seahawks, 13-6 ATS, 12-3 ATS since 2019. Covering the spread by 4.2 points per game. McVay has done very good.
He's 2-2 straight up versus McDonald, and he needed overtime in one of those games last year in Seattle. So, and I think, 2 of the 4 games have gone over. It's quite a good matchup. I don't know if we could use the historical stuff past that, Sean.
Yeah, you asked me to make a case for Seattle. I'm making the case for Seattle, for the Rams, and I'm making the case for the Rams. Matt Stafford, probably a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. For me,
has Matt Stafford ever won 13 games back-to-back seasons?
I don't think so.
Only Sam Darnold.
He's won a Super Bowl. Now for me, the situation spot is the strongest handicap for me. We have a Los Angeles Rams team, 3rd straight road game, right? Let's just start there. 3rd straight road game.
Third
consecutive road games in either regular season or playoffs. Teams are 48-79. Ryan, when the schedule comes out, we make a point of highlighting 3rd straight road games. When the team is listed as an underdog, they are 22-67 straight up, 24%. It's tough to win 3 road games in a row. 5 teams have done it in NFL history in the playoffs. And Pats were the only one who didn't end up winning the Super Bowl. So yeah, you have those like magical teams that go on those crazy runs from the wild card spot. It can happen. It can. I don't get the sense from this Rams team that they have the juice this year. And on top of it, 3rd straight road game, you have 1 day of rest, 1 day less of rest, and you're coming off overtime. So all those factors combined, it's really tough. And I think the Seattle Seahawks crowd, man, that was a different crowd when they're at home in a playoff game. And if you're not adjusting it in your power rankings, you should be, because
they're not.
If you want that 49ers game, now granted it started with a kick return for a touchdown, certainly helps get the crowd in the game. But as someone who was on the 49ers, I immediately knew, shit, I fucked up. This crowd is rocking. This is it's going to be insane.
Well, this is why, Sean, and I don't know if you didn't see this last week. And I love this, by the way. If I owned a sports franchise, I would not be scared a way of doing this. They basically emailed all the season ticket holders who were selling their tickets on secondary market saying, we're going to be filing this away when you try to renew your season tickets next year. And it might have an impact in your eligibility. So I thought I think it's and I didn't really say much about it in the first game, but both of these teams have such decided home edges. With Denver having both being noisy, elevation, it is going to be colder, and then this game where it's not going to be cold, but it is going to be in like the low 40s.
Well, there's all those trends of the dome team outdoor, but since the merger, Ryan, how many dome teams have won a conference championship game on the road in an outdoor stadium?
I don't actually know the question.
So dome teams
off the top of my head
going outdoors on the road. 0-15 all time.
Really?
0-15, 2-13 ATS.
It is an open air stadium. So
well, we're really excited to get up there to Seattle, and Mike's done a good job of preparing his guys, but we got to come in there with some intensity, limit the mental mistakes, and just lock in there.
I don't know.
And I think this is going to be a good close game. Well, what happens in good close games? The difference is a lot of times special teams. It was the difference in that game in Seattle with the Rams against them. Seattle's number one special teams DVOA. They had a kick return for a touchdown last game in the playoffs. They had a punt return for a touchdown against the Rams that swung the game. So, and you have Seattle number 2 in pressure rate. Like if this Seattle team can get to the Los Angeles Rams, and the Rams defense has just not been the same. They really haven't since week 11. The points per game has just completely fallen off. Yeah, they actually played okay, I guess, against the Bears, but I don't know. There felt like there was a ton of opportunities, and once Caleb kind of locked in, he was cooking.
I also thought just again, back to why are the Rams getting all these passes?
And the Rams, they didn't cover both games, and they're still advancing to the conference championship game, right? How often does that happen? First time in the Super Bowl era to lose ATS against the wild card round and the divisional round. And when is
spread matters? It's not.
Well, no, but I'm saying well, that's a good point, but also just when was the last time Matt Stafford looked really good on the road? Did he look really good against Chicago? I don't think so. Did he look great against Carolina? Yeah, I had that nice drive. Was that MVP caliber?
But you nailed it.
At Atlanta. Yeah,
if this team has, here's what I'll say. In the last couple of games, they have had mostly failure drives with a handful of successful drives. If they have that kind of ratio against the Seahawks, they're going to lose this game by a lot of points.
Yeah.
They can't be a complete dud. And by the way, what saved them last week was the ability to run the ball. And I don't think running those concepts where just playing power football is going to work against this Seattle team. I think it's a little different than the test last week. So, yeah, I like Chicago. I didn't think Chicago's defense was ever that good. I didn't think. So the fact that they were kind of like Dennis, they were having a decent game at times against the Rams, and it's all back to Stafford's hurt. He's banged up.
Yeah,
and
deal with the hand thing.
It's going to be loud as
chilly.
Shit.
Now,
and they're going to be able to. They're going to be able to deal with. Like if I'm betting on Puka versus JSN, give me JSN to have the stats in this one.
Yeah, I'm not. This is not an anti-Puka handicap, and I think if you're making a case for the Rams, it's a fairly simple handicap. It's Matt Stafford is better than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold will piss down his leg, and we've said this, right? Turnovers have been the great equalizer in this playoffs. And if Sam Darnold throws multiple interceptions, which is certainly possible, that's going to obviously be the difference in the game.
I think they're pretty similar. They both can turn the ball over.
To your point,
game.
Yeah, Stafford has not looked particularly sharp. He just hasn't. I don't think he looked particularly sharp in that Chicago game. Again, they went into a hostile environment and got the win. They went look at that. I mean, just break down the travel spot. You go all the way to the East Coast, wet, sloppy game against the Panthers team that almost beat you. Back to LA.
6,
then you go out to Chicago, play in bone ass chill weather in an overtime.
2,500 miles.
An overtime game on short rest. Third road game.
All right, so I got you.
It's the worst situation spot you can have.
I got you 11K before you even take off for Seattle.
You're getting miles.
So we're at like 13,000 miles before you even play in the conference championship game.
Now, certainly, again,
play the donkey music.
Charles Cross is back for the Seattle. That's huge. It's Dominic the donkey. If they can keep Darnold clean, they should be fine. Now they lose Charbonnet. I liked what I saw to Kenneth Walker, but certainly having Charbonnet.
Guy said he's optimistic about Charbonnet. Next day, Charbonnet done for the year.
Yeah,
fuck off.
How's his ACL? Again, the story's going to be Darnold, not getting pressured and Darnold not turning it over. But again, Seattle number 2 in the league in pressure rate. I think they're going to be able to get to Matt Stafford, who will turtle up And I think Seattle's defense gets to him. They get some big special teams plays. And I don't think Darnold's going to be in a spot where he has to necessarily win this game. So I think Seattle gets the win and the cover. Yeah, Darnold completed 74.5% of his passes, 9.4 yards per attempt when kept clean. Under pressure, drops down to 52.1%. Yards per attempt plummets to 6.5. So again, if you get to Stafford early, if there's an early pick, if you can rattle him and knock him around and maybe jack up that oblique.
Darnold. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said Stafford.
Oh, yeah. Darnold.
Yeah. No, I mean,
then I think that's your formula.
But he also he took some hits. He looked fine. I
overtime, third road game, dome team outdoors.
What is the list of the team?
And short rest.
Do you have the list of the teams that did get it done in the third road game in the playoffs, other than the Giants?
Give me a second to pull that
before
up.
They took down the undefeated Patriots. Everyone remembers that game.
Okay, so Rams can become the 6th history team to do it. Why don't you try and guess some? One slight asterisk in my mind.
One slight. All right, so the 3 road games in a row.
Yep, 3 road games in a row.
Well, so the Giants are one.
The 2007 New York Giants are one. Yep.
I assume are the Rams one as well from
No.
The Eagles?
No.
Were they not the wild card that year?
What year?
The dog mask year. Oh no, they were high seed that year.
They were the number 1 seed. That was the disrespect. Much like you'll see in Denver.
Let's see. Were the Bucks?
2020 Bucks.
Yeah,
again,
Tom Brady
the asterisk there is they weren't playing in front of crowds, so that to me changes the formula. 2010 Green Bay Packers, 2005 Steelers, which was not on my radar.
That was the Bettis retirement year.
Yeah, and then 85 Patriots, who ended up getting destroyed by the Chicago Bears, but they beat Miami Dolphins in Miami.
Yeah,
old Danny Marino.
Was Dan Marino sobbing at his locker afterwards?
No, Dan Marino didn't give a shit. He's like, give me some isotoner gloves and some cocaine.
Yeah, just looking for his dynamic wife.
Ryan, I was doing the math. Is it going to be possible for Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen to be the Dan Marino of our generation? They both can't be Dan Marino.
What about
right?
Joe Burrow? Does he?
Oh yeah, and Joe Burrow. Only one of them can be Dan Marino.
I mean, what's going to happen if Sam Darnold gets one before all those guys? People will be in shambles. Yeah, I think I mean, look, it's a third game, and we're gonna have to deal with McVay's bullshit. But I do think.
Relax there, Ryan.
Mike McDonald, I think, is a good coach. I mean, look at the matchup.
Yeah, that would be the other. If I was making a handicap for the Rams and I was close, this one to me was a little bit more work. It would be better quarterback, Darnold turnovers, more playoff experience with the head coach, chip on their shoulder from the previous loss. That's kind of where I start.
Should have lost against the Bears. Could have lost against the Panther. I mean, I just think they're to your spread comment earlier about them not covering. They have been just getting by, and this Seattle team, talk about no respect. They are curb stomping.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily like add into your rest disparity. The other team was literally smacking the ground with a belt in the second quarter. They were running it out so hard. So I think well rested versus tired this time of year is and your overtime triple road game. Stafford's hurt, banged up. Their offensive line did not look good against the Bears, who don't exactly have an elite pass rush.
Yeah, I mean, look at Seattle's January football. They won a tough game against the 49ers at 49ers January 3rd.
That was a blowout with a low
13-3. But I mean,
San Francisco never.
That was kind of a tough. It was a physical game.
The drop McCaffrey pass was.
But then they had a bye week. Then they just destroyed San Francisco, where they were in cruise control. So that's their 8 quarters of football have just been against the 49ers, where they were kind of in control the entire time. And look at the Rams schedule of games the last the last week. Now they played at home against the Cardinals. They played all their starters there. They won 37-30. Then they went on the road to Carolina on a short week. Did not cover 34-31. Then they just played on Sunday in Chicago 2017. Now you have another short week here up in the Northeast. Like you could not physically think of a more taxing 3-game road stretch. And it's an older veteran team. And Matt Stafford's back might fall apart at any moment.
Yeah, this is in circle. Like we didn't Cooper Cup. I know it's a tired angle, but we're gonna play some Cooper Cup stuff this week.
Cooper Cup. All right, so give me the Seattle Seahawks laying the 2.5.
I know we're not supposed to lay the 2.5, but I'm just
well, and the Rams are the sharp side. Again, I try not to get too locked into the sharp side, the square side, because there's only 2 games. Yeah, there's only 2 sides.
I think the sharps are horribly wrong here, and I think
the sharps don't win every game.
If you're in a spreadsheet, maybe if you're on the slopes and not watching the games, you haven't seen what the Seattle team's up to. I think again, the home edges for both of these teams are going to end up being I know that home edge is shrunk in the NFL, but these playoff games in certain cities need to go back to full 3 points, in my opinion, Sean. So I don't think. Oh, maybe they are doing that. If you think they think say the Rams are a half point better or something like that, so maybe they are respecting the home field with a full 3. Either way, this will be. If I'm given the opportunity to play a pleaser card this weekend, this will be on it.
All right, time for our lock and dog, brought to you by Novik. If you haven't signed up with the Novik app, what are you waiting for? America's #1 sports prediction market. Spend $5, get $50 when you use our promo code SGPN. Available in a bunch of states. Sign up on Novik. Do yourself a favor. Do us a favor. Get your free $50 when you spend $5. That's NOVIG. Promo code SGPN. Kramer, you're coming off a 4-0 divisional round playoffs. Congratulations.
Did I go first or did you go first?
It's a good question. I think I went first.
Okay. Should we keep it the same then?
Sure. What are we giving out this week?
2 locks and a dog. No teaser?
No teaser. There's only 2 games. Although Rams in a great teaser leg, Ryan. Rams and Broncos, saying? Awesome teaser leg. Although if you are going to tease the Broncos,
I'm not teasing
the 5.5.
I'm not teasing again. Okay, I'm not teasing.
No, you want it over 11.5
okay.
if you can.
Okay, I see what's happening here. I would not tease the Rams.
Okay,
I'll say that. You
All
don't
right.
think Seattle has blowout potential?
You can tease it both ways. That's the great thing about teasers.
No, I'm saying like I think Seattle is the mispriced play on the board. I'm fully aware that I knew I was always going to find myself loving this Denver side. It just happened that the quarterback story also is magical and makes a lot of sense and is going to cost me more money in the prop market if it doesn't go well.
All right, my lock number 1. Give me the Denver Broncos plus 4.5. Lock number 2. Give me the Seattle Seahawks laying the 2.5. For my dog, give me a parlay of the Denver Broncos plus 4.5 and Seattle minus 2.5. Kramer, what are you doing?
Lock number 1, Seattle.
Good first lock.
Lock number 2, Denver.
Great lock.
Dog. Denver money line. Seattle minus 8.5.
So you're doing it as a parlay.
I'm going to alt Seattle.
Okay.
And do the so that's going to pay massive. That's going to pay like 7-8 to 1.
Wow. Nice.
Not like you're
just totally flexing on my puny parlay.
Maybe I should do Denver minus 3.5. No, I'm not going to. No need to get greedy.
All right, Kramer. Good times as always. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Smash that subscribe button. Answer all your questions and comments over on Spotify. While you're there, toss us 5 stars. Trying to get the 2K reviews, and we're within shouting distance, Ryan. So again, if you listen on another platform, if you're an Apple guy, YouTube guy, take 2 seconds, listen over on Spotify, give us the 5 stars. Appreciate that as we close out the home stretch of an amazing football season tomorrow. I'm being told, Kramer, CJ Sullivan back in studio.
Oh, hello.
For our prop show, knock on wood. He was a little under the weather. Hopefully he's able to make it. So live prop show with CJ Sullivan. And then of course our VSiN show Friday night live from the Circuit in Las Vegas, 10 o'clock East, YouTube TV, Sirius XM channel 158. And wherever you get your VSiN. And of course, as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the Money Greenies, Ryan.
Nate Adkins, first touchdown.
Kramer, let it ride. Points.
I want better fucking execution.
My last time and I'm waiting with dread. Oh Lord, please help me cover the spread. I bet the money line on
Shout out to Cassandra.
card. The odds are fine. They made a first down. My team is trying to go downtown. Oh Lord, please help me cover the spread. My bookie has chased me around the block. Bill collectors are calling me round the clock. I gamble all night, my eyes are red. The dice are all right, and I got poker in my head. Oh Lord, please help me cover the spread. The time is running down, let's make a first down. I need some luck to make a buck. Oh Lord, we're a point behind. Let's come from behind. Let's go ahead and give me a touchdown. Oh Lord, please help me cover the spread. It's 4th down, the goal line is just ahead. They scored a touchdown and covered the spread. They scored a touchdown and covered the spread. Oh Lord, thank you so much. My rent is paid. Oh Lord, I love you so much. We covered the point spread. We covered the point spread. We covered the point spread. We covered the point spread.